You have the Mercedes-Benz Sprinter chassis, and you have the new improved one. This actually is a headlight washer.
Yeah, I saw that.
If you don't have your headlights on and you turn on your windshield wiper washers, it'll only spray on the windshield. If your headlights are turned on and you do the windshield washer squirter, your windshield gets sprayed, this will jet out and wash your headlight. It does take more fluid. It's pretty generous with its wash.
Oh, okay.
So if you see it going down, maybe that's part of it. The headlights are on. Okay.
So you just fill it with windshield wiper?
Yep. Right in the same container.
Okay.
Comes out of the same container. All of your windshield wipers are connected in one spot only. So what that'll do is it'll follow the curve of the windshield much better.
Oh, okay.
If you're in Minnesota come November, December, January, you can also lift it to get the snow and ice off your windshield. Okay. Your mirrors. If you get into a tight spot, whether it be a building or a campsite, and this is going to be in the way, it is a little bit of a push, but it will fold all the way up.
But it's not controlled by inside.
The glass is.
Oh, the glass is.
Yes. The glass you can adjust, but this here is manual.
Okay.
And it'll fold both ways, so if you need to go the other way, you can as well. Now, we've had some customers that occasionally this bar might be right in the middle of their mirror.
Oh,
Therefore, you can move it one notch the other way or this way, and then you can compensate for that.
okay.
The outside light up here is LED.
And that's new in 215, is that right?
It is. Yes, that is right. Maybe I'm not gonna go here. There we go. Inside the passenger door, you have a pocket here and a place for water here. And this will open up, and there's a medical kit in there.
Oh, well.
There's ample room for other things you might want to keep in there as well. This right here is where your equipment is ready for changing a tire.
Okay.
And to get at it, you just have to have a coin. We'll stick it in this little slot here.
Yeah.
Turn it, pop this out, and I'll let you look in there.
Okay.
In there is the jack and all the equipment to change a tire. It is well hidden. So if you had something that you wanted to take with you that you weren't going to be using very often, or you just wanted to have it just in case, some people put a few extra check blanks in there, or maybe a phone card if they would lose their wallet or something, that they would have something to contact with, the credit
How
card
about
companies.
jewelry?
If you want to put it in there, yep, it's not lockable,
Oh.
but it is a place that's kind of out of sight.
Yeah.
Now, where are the spots to lift the chassis from? Like if I was changing that tire, right here? No, that's just a floorboard.
I would have to look in the manual with you, because there are spots, but
Is there something in there that shows you?
no, it would be in your manual, in your box or your bag.
Okay.
There's the manual from Mercedes-Benz.
Yeah.
The 50th anniversary. Did you see that email yesterday?
Yes, I did. I went for it, just
So did I.
a hook, line, and sinker, and I went for it.
Yeah.
We were
Last year
ready
they
to
did
go
it with an
looking
old
for the
version.
gold.
Okay, so to put this back, you do have to just lay it back in place. And take your coin and then resecure it.
I want to set this down.
The mat in here is removable. So if it's a sloppy day out, you can roll it up and you don't have to clean it. You do have a final floor underneath. Your chair, this button here will either raise or lower the part of the seat underneath your knee. This will either lower or raise the entire chair. This will do the backrest. And there's one more lever on that side that'll do the lumbar support.
Okay.
And the other chair is identical to this.
How far do
Now,
they
we're-
recline?
Yeah, we were wondering if you turned them around,
Yes, there is.
let's say we had a third person and you were two sleeping there, could you not sleep in that if you turned it around?
You know, if the third person is a child,
Yes.
what I would do is I would get a hold of a firm backing and put something across here with an air mattress or something.
Oh,
Okay.
good idea.
Yeah,
In fact,
that could be done easy.
yeah, I thought we used to have a road check one, I can show you, but anyway, this will recline quite a bit. Now, one more thing, we do have the other slide out still on the in position until we do the full outside walk around, but both of your chairs will turn. So as long as we got this door open, if I lift up on this lever here, the seat will go back and forth. There's a lever right here, and if I just take and bump that just a little bit, now the seat will turn all the way around, and it's free flowing. I can take and move it a little bit here, take it all the way around.
Yeah.
It'll lock in the full backward position, it'll lock in the full forward position.
Okay.
In between, it's free flowing. Okay? So you can have that sofa there, you can have two people sit here, and you can sit carry on a conversation.
Yep.
You do have a privacy curtain that follows the windshield and meets in the middle and velcros together. And then there's Velcro straps to keep it to the side when you don't want it covering the windshield. So now to return it, all I have to do is bump the back lever, turn it around. And then we're good to go again. I'll give you this so we don't lose it. So 2 sets of keys with it. If you order extra keys, your key, of course, you push this button and your ignition key will flop out and it'll go back in so it isn't so hard on your pockets. Okay.
My first Mercedes.
Yes. Is it really? All right. You do have a grab handle here, and you have a safety bar here so that people don't step out too soon. And there is some stability available with that as well. And you have, so you can sit and enjoy the view or
Yeah.
whatever it is and not the bugs.
Yeah. Very nice.
Now, to shut your door, we have to release it here. And then it's free flowing, but you need to give it a little bit of a boost so that it coasts in and brings the back in.
Oh, and that just goes in on
And the
that.
power step that goes in.
That's neat.
We have a power awning, and the seat button, the button cord is right underneath the seat here.
Now, the door has to be closed before you do the power on it?
It should be, I don't know if it has to be. See how much space there is there? So it will clear, but it really, you know,
But then you can open it afterwards.
see, it could have touched. I don't know if it would or not. It is so close that I just like to have it. Well, let's put the awning out.
Yeah, because I brought a steps to it. I said,
Okay.
I don't know if I can reach it.
It's rather tall.
That's what I thought.
Now the arms that are underneath the awning will never be straight. They are intended to have an angle to them, and that gives them some strength. So let's stop right here.
Yeah,
The
I
next
didn't
thing
need
you
that little step stool, but I brought it.
Sure. Now if you come back on this side now, if you look at the here, you see there's LED lights in there for you. So you do have your porch light here, but you also have the LED lights on it. Okay, now, for convenience, if you guys want to step inside and watch while we take the legs out,
Oh,
maybe you'll get a better view of
See,
it.
I was gonna buy one of those white hoses. You get one.
No.
Oh, you got, that's, you get a starter kit with it. This just makes it easier for you to see. Okay, you do have an awning leg here and there. And in order to release it, we have to flip this lever down
Okay.
and the leg will come down. Now, I can take and firm that up a little bit here, and I can secure it that way. I'll go to this side and do the same thing, bring it down and secure it. If we're at a campsite and it's a very calm day, and if you have this nice and level, you'll have good shade and everything else. If there's a little bit of a breeze from that direction coming this way, and if it's level, it'll sit and flutter. So what you need to do is drop this side so that the breeze is hitting it like this and keeping it secure. If it was the other way, you'd always want to lift your awning for it.
Okay.
And if you have a rainy day or a drizzly day, if you keep this a little bit high and that a little bit low, all the water will drain off down there and not by your door here.
See, well, that comes with experience.
Yep. Now,
That's good.
you can take and put it out here, and if you're at a campground where you have grass, it comes with little stakes that you can secure, that nobody kicks and bumps it out from under you. If you're at a hard surface place, they have brackets on the motorhome here. So these brackets will only fit this one is okay. They're permanent mount right. You have to lift this up a little bit and put the foot in. If you
Okay.
tried to do it when it was rigid like this, it's a possibility you could slip and scratch the side of your motorhome. So, loosen this up, it's not gonna hurt it. You can take all the tension off of this, you can bring it in, and you can slowly install it in there and secure it. And then now, take and release this and secure it,
Yeah, that's better.
and you don't have the risk of scratching.
Yeah.
When it's time to take it down, you loosen it first. Without loosening it, you could scratch. Bring up your retainer. It's very unlikely that you would ever scratch
So
it.
this is for like cement?
Yeah, cement or asphalt or something like that, or if you just don't want it into the grass.
Yeah.
Right? When it's time to put it away, we'll take and release all the pressure on both of them. And you see this screw with a washer right up here? Inside the track? Might have to come down.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, that is what's gonna hold it in place. So when we take and bring this up, and we have this foot behind it, this empty spot here, will go in here like so.
Okay.
Now, we have to keep it tight and then secure it here. It is a reach.
Well, I brought a little step to it.
Okay.
I realize that.
So we'll do
I
both.
wish I was 6'3",
Well, I suppose you get those thick sole shoes or something, but that they used to wear in the 70s. There we go. And want to keep it there while we secure it. Now, you can pull down on this a little bit. And we could extend it a little bit longer to get a little bit lower. But even when you bring it all the way out, once you get it down or up, then you shift it back just a little bit so there's a bend in the supports. Okay? And then, just hold it until it goes all the way into the full stop. The light will work at any time. Okay, and now I didn't let go of the button. It actually stopped and the motor stopped and everything before I let go of the button. So once it stops, then just let go of the button. Let's continue on the outside of that. Okay?
I was gonna ask you, where do they keep those little pegs for the,
It's in your kit that you get.
Okay.
And then you can keep them where you want to. They're metal, and
Okay.
you can replace them if they get, dirty or soiled or something like that.
yeah.
Okay, this of course is the exhaust pipe for the engine, and this is for your furnace. This is intake and exhaust, so it is burning outside air, not inside air. You do have a one.
And this will get warm and hot?
This top one can get hot. This stays fairly cool because the air is going in.
Okay.
So in that function, it could get quite hot. You do have an outside receptacle with downfault interruption on it, and you have the exhaust pipe for your generator down there.
Okay.
When we go to the back, this is the only motorhome that leisure travel vans built where you can't enter and exit through the back because you have a full
Yeah.
walk-through bathroom
Yeah.
back there. So you release your door like so, and it has an automatic latch right here. Now you can release that latch by simply pulling the door forward slightly, pull it this way, click it in place, and there's a magnet, yes, to hold it. Okay, so it'll secure it there.
Yeah.
We can also open this side over here by dropping the spare tire. There's a safety catch right here. And then you can take and just pull it down. And let's open this door as well. Okay, the inside of here is your spare tire, and this has a threaded top. If you are working on a bicycle, or if you are putting together some fishing tackle or something like that, you could use this for a table outside for some purpose. It is threaded, quite a few threads.
Yeah.
There it went. And then it comes off. Now, some people will store things in here too, like maybe an extra hose for when you get to a place where it takes
Right.
more than one hose to get there.
Okay.
But what you put back here could get dirty. Okay?
Oh, okay.
And this is the threaded bolt.
Yeah.
There's lots of threads there. So when you're ready to put it back, you just find the threads, get it started. And then you should snug it up against the rubber tire. There. Okay, you do have a receptacle here for if you were to hook up a trailer.
Yeah.
It's a 7-pin adapter, and it's the Mercedes harness that goes to the front. It's not an aftermarket one.
Yeah.
And we have put a plug in here for you, but you do have a 2-inch hitch.
Yeah, I even brought something for that.
You did? Okay, good. Okay, as long as we have this open, this is your power cord, and you'll need that at any place that you stop to plug into electric. So we'll set that down here for right now. And this is an insert for the sliding door. This is just a rack for that cord. And you do have a hook here and a hook here. So if you want to put something vertically in here and you want to secure it, you could use a bungee cord or something across there to do
Okay.
so. Underneath here was just a little bit of an unusual shape. So they custom made storage for you, for your batteries. So they're very, very easy to get at.
Okay, this is my first, I thought that was gonna be storage.
Sure. No, this is for the batteries. There is drains here. It is sealed so that the charging of the battery can't get any fumes into the inside. Okay. This is labeled as a Santa flush. And what this is for is if you wanted to take and clean the black water holding tank, you could take a hose up to here,
Oh, okay.
turn on the water, and that water would run quickly through the black water toilet tank.
But
and you
just
don't
through the
want-
black water?
Just black water,
Yeah,
not
that's
gray,
fine.
not fresh.
Yeah. Okay, well, that's great.
This adapter is just a good place to store that. What this is for is if you put this on your water intake, which I'll be showing you around the corner, and if you want to blow out your water lines, let's say that you are down south and you're invited back here for a gathering in the middle of winter, you could take and put this on your water intake, open up every faucet at the same time, and hook it up to an air compressor and blow all the water out of the water heater, all the water lines, everything.
Oh, wow.
So now your whole freshwater system is empty except for the holding tank, which you have to drain. But it's a quick way to get on the road again.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's a great idea.
Yeah, and it sits right here. And again, the only reason it's here is for storage. You don't clean the black water tank with air. Okay. This is an insert for the sliding door. Let's walk back over there and show you that.
Okay. I can see how it fits already.
Yeah. Without this, if you were inside the motorhome, you were walking around, we got up in the middle of the night, this here would be empty and possibly cause a problem. So,
Oh, I see.
what they have done is they made this to fit right in here.
Oh, good.
And then the door up against it will secure it,
Yeah.
so it's less likely to twist your foot or something in the night.
Okay, but can you travel with that down?
You certainly could.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that-
it may rattle, but you can certainly travel with it. Maybe you want to put some felt on the bottom or something, you could. But keep in mind, if you're traveling, you open the door to step out, there's nothing holding it
Yeah.
close. So it could be a hazard. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Otherwise, back here, you have some storage above there. You have a couple shelves. Everything is lined with a felt-like type material so that if you put something in there, it's less likely to make noise and make it difficult or noisy for you. There is your backup camera. So whenever you put it into reverse, it will automatically come on so you're on your screen that you can see what's behind you, and there should also be a button that you could push it. If you were towing a boat, you had a bad bump, you could take a glance and see what it's doing and let go of the button. It would go back to whatever you have, radio or GPS or whatever. But let me give you a quick look. There's also storage.
But you're saying that would come on automatically?
It reverse. When you take
Oh,
your
yes,
camera-
okay, yeah, okay.
Because there's no windows in here, there's really not plastic holder for storage there, and you have plastic storage for holding
So that's where we need to make sure we can fit our chairs in there. We bought chairs that are.
Well, I
way
don't
too
think
big.
that they're
Oh,
good.
okay.
We need to buy some skinny chairs.
Okay. A lot of people buy the kind that go into a tube,
Well,
that are canvas type, you know.
yeah, that's what
They
we
store
brought.
it. Oh, okay.
Yeah. But now, see, we could probably hang both of those from here somehow.
You
I
think
may have
that'll
one right
fit?
here, let me look and see.
I think they look a little wide. Oh, that?
Yeah, that's what we have.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That'll fit nicely.
Yeah.
That's where the
Uh-huh.
bungee cord will be good.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's all we need is a bungee cord. Yeah. That'll work.
No, it's not quite long enough that way.
Yeah, but that and the bungee cord takes care of the chairs.
I was thinking of the other chairs, the ones we bought at REI. Those are not gonna work.
No, those, like I said, we bought them because they were the most comfortable chairs we ever sat on.
Sure.
But
Now we
they're
can't
so
even take
big.
them with us.
No wonder they're so comfortable.
Okay, I'm gonna leave the cord out right now. And I'm gonna put this back so it does secure. Whatever you put it back, it will automatically go
Okay.
into its spot. But if you choose not to have it do that, you can still fully shut the door and open it and swing all the way around.
Okay.
This is great on those windy days and stuff like I had here yesterday.
Yeah.
It secures it. Now, to bring the, to get your spare tire out, there is a lock on the bottom of this. And you just take your key and you can turn that and it will allow you to release the chrome ring, but it also keeps people from trying to steal your tire.
Yeah.
We'll take and lift this, it is
Now
spring
the-
balanced.
The lock is where? Is
That should be,
is that?
let me see.
Mine your way.
Not at all. No.
Yes.
That's it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
There you go. Now, this is spring balanced, so you can take with 4 fingertips and raise it.
Let's see.
You can secure it. And now, we're good to go to the other side. Over here, we have a temporary cord hooked up today so that we can get the power on without using the cord. But you can see where the cord will hook onto, and you can take and turn it on and then secure it with this ring.
Okay.
Okay? I'm going to set this back. This is the magnet for the other door.
Yes.
Right down here is your sewer drain. So inside your kit, you have got a flexible hose that you can hook onto that.
In the kit?
In the kit, you get a spare, but you also have one here too.
Oh, okay.
Here's your hose container, and here is your hose.
That's on there.
Yes.
Okay.
Now, for demonstration purposes, we have got what they call shore power. If you get to a campground site, this is what you're going to find for shore power.
That's a great idea. Who thought of that, Dale?
Nicole.
Oh,
This was
really?
her idea.
Well, Nicole was
She was
very,
thinking.
very good.
If you were to take and hook that up there and bring your downspout over to here, then of course all of your sewage would go down in there.
Yeah.
If you're staying for several days, you should let the black water accumulate because it needs a lot of fluid in order to empty properly. So if you've been there for 5 days and you see that it's time to empty, then you have enough fluid to go through it and you have gray to rinse it. You would not want to hook this up and just leave both the valves wide open and every time you ran water would just go away because you need the gray water to rinse it out after the black water's done. But that would hook up here. Your freshwater hose is a white hose, and that's for the best It's the best hose to use in an RV. If you buy a green one, that's the best for a garden or a lawn, but you wouldn't want to use that water in your RV. So always buy a white hose. You get one free in your starter kit.
Okay.
Right here's the cable hookup you'll find there. We do have antenna on here. Satellite dishes are sometimes installed, and sometimes campgrounds will offer you cable or satellite service this
Yeah.
way. It doesn't come with a coax cable, but if you stop at a discount store and pick up a 20-footer, you should be in
Well,
really
I
good
got
shape.
plenty coaxial.
Okay. This, of course, will be your 110 outlet, and this is your 30 amp outlet. Your 30 amp outlet is perfect for the cord that comes with it, because everything will line right up.
Okay.
If you get to somebody's house, or if you get to your own home, and you want to plug it in, and you want to get the refrigerator cold, the lights on, things like this,
Yeah.
it comes with this adapter that will bring it down to 20 amps. It's still 30 amps worth of use in there, coming out of a 15 or a 20 amp outlet. So you'd want your air conditioner on low, and you want to turn it off to run the microwave. Otherwise, you'll blow the fuse in your garage or
Okay.
something. But this allows you to.
But if something fails, you know it's just a fuse.
That's correct. And it would be
Yeah.
not in here, it would be in the power source if you put too much on
Yeah.
with a 20 amp cord.
Yeah.
Yep. So you can get your brother-in-law's plug in, enjoy.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what your shore power is going to look like.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, just to go back to that, because
Yes.
we are familiar with it because we did rented a little pop-up trailer. But standard, if we just use that just to keep lights on with no air or anything, that's still
That's
plenty.
fine. You could even run the air on low. If you put it
Okay.
on low and then a decent temperature and stuff, that wouldn't hurt it.
Okay.
But if the night before you want to go in there and you want to turn the lights on so you can see what you're packing, you want to get the refrigerator pre-chilled.
Well, that's
for
what
the
I was gonna
food in
get
the
to
morning.
next, to the refrigerator and the freezer.
Yep, that would take care of that. You could sit there and watch TV if you're visiting and plugged in someplace.
And I can do it all with the
You should.
110.
But however, if you turn on the roof air and you turn on the microwave,
Okay, then you're overloading.
you're going to blow fuse. But if you're smart with it, you can get by with it nicely.
Okay.
And you may end up with a campground that only has a 120 outlet available, so you can use that. If you have a 30 amp, that's what you want to try to
Sure.
get. And if you can only find one with a 50 amp, that would be for like a Class A motorhome, you would need an adapter that goes from 50 to 30. We do
30.
have them, and I can show you them before you go if you like it. But that's what it's going to look like at the campground. Okay, so we got the cord, or the hose, out of this storage area here. And it can slide right back in.
Do you clean that separately before you put it back in?
You can. Again, once you empty the black water, the gray water is the wastewater from your sink in your shower,
Yeah.
which does help clean it. But there should be a hose right there that you're hooked up to, and you can certainly clean it. Oh, I see. I'm trying to push up and it goes down. There we go.
You might have to delay that.
There is a,
Edit cut.
it's a corrugated receiver for a corrugated hose. I'm gonna have you guys check that there might be something that is obstructing that before you go, so. Right over here, this is your cable TV hookup that we talked about for the cord. And this right here is your propane off and on button. Now the reason that we have,
So the length, I just need to go from there to there.
Yes.
Right, that, so I should get,
and it's usually in that vicinity.
yeah, okay.
Propane on and off button. The propane tank is not located underneath the middle of the motorhome. What's nice about that is it's centered, so it's very well balanced for weight. It's also protected in case there's a collision. But because it's underneath there, you'd have to go underneath there every day and open and close the valve. So they put an electronic one here. So you can turn your propane off or on from this point. This is also like your low point drain. So you do have what we call, outside water. Some people call it outside shower. But you can take this, hook it up right here, and you can either drain your water line by just opening up all of your faucets inside and let gravity take out as much.
Just the gravity
Okay.
thing.
You can also hook it onto here, and you can wash dishes or
Yeah.
rinse the sand off your feet or whatever you
Yeah.
want the cold water for. And that just goes right back in like so.
That's cool.
This is your fresh water tank fill or use. We can take and hook the hose, the white hose, onto this right here. Right there, and then we can take and hook the other end up over there, and you can turn it on. And if you have this black selector right here in the down position like it is right now, it'll go directly to all of your faucets without entering your stored water. If you're at that campground and you've been there for a day or half a day and you find that the water is just not what you want to take with you, don't fill your tank with it. If you find out it's good water, you wouldn't mind traveling with it. If you take and flip this lever here, the water will now go directly into your holding tank and you can fill your water supply. Inside there's a gauge that tells you how much water there is in there, so if it needs topping off or not. If you have this in the position here and turn the water on and you overfill your tank, there's a breathing tube on top that lets the air out, then the water will squirt down underneath your motorhome. So if we see some coming down, you've
From underneath the chassis?
Yep,
Yeah,
you've
okay.
overfilled, or if somebody's watching the gauge inside, they can tell you when you're getting full too. You do have
But
to.
now, if I hook up the hose and just leave that down,
Mhm.
then we'll just be using water just from the faucets and everything. As long as the faucets are closed, that's enough, not to handle the pressure coming from
Yes.
the regular.
And you're going to get with your starter kit a pressure regulator that you can have on your
Or you can
hose.
put it on.
Yep,
Oh, okay.
you put it on your hose, and if that water, if the campground is right below the water tower, for example, the pressure is exceeding the high,
Yeah,
that'll regulate it so it doesn't damage you.
okay,
You get one of those with it.
okay.
But what I wanted to tell you was, if you have this in the up position to fill your tank, and you go inside and turn on your water pump, it'll pump the water back out the filling tube that you put it in with. So whenever you are using the water inside with the pump, you have to have that closed. Okay? This right here is
So when, it only goes in either close or open, just, it
Yeah.
doesn't go three ways, right?
it's labeled tank fill or city water. So you leave it on tank fill only to fill the tank, and then you put it back again.
Okay,
That's a temporary position.
okay.
There is a place right here for your water hose to go through, so you don't have to leave the door open.
Oh, okay.
And this right
Does that give it enough?
yeah, you'll
bend
be
in
able,
there?
yeah, you'll be able to come like this and come around and hook onto it and
Okay.
shut the door.
Okay,
This is propane.
yeah.
They fill it, they monitor it, they won't allow you to go to their propane tank and fill it. There's a gauge inside that'll tell you when you're getting low, and when you drive up, you just make sure that this is convenient for them. Open the door, and then they'll do their
Now
job.
where do you normally get your propane?
You know, there's a lot of,
Besides the big ones?
Sure.
uh,
there's a lot of service stations. In our area, you'll find, many of them have got a big tank to the side, and they'll sell regular gas, diesel, and propane. Also, big truck stops sell it.
Okay.
Camping Worlds, different places sell
Okay,
it.
so,
Cabela's.
okay, all right.
So that's this part. This right here is the intake and the exhaust for the behind the refrigerator. It has to cool the coils and it has to let the gas escape if you have it on propane. And this right here is a flow-through water heater. Now, a flow-through water heater does exactly what it says. It heats it as you're using it. It's an on-demand water heater. It's turned to the on position now, so it's ready to be used whenever you turn it on the inside. If you want to, you can turn it off here, but then you'd have to come back outside every time to use it. But for storage or something, you could. Because you have a on-demand, you don't have a great big tank here, so you don't have a tank to do a bypass, and you don't have a tank to try to drain 5 gallons of water out before you winterize it. So it'll be just a little bit easier for you folks. Okay? If you don't secure your door properly, it will blow off when you drive. So you have to make sure you're on both the hooks on the bottom, push it in, and then you have to pull the plastic pad, turn it,
Okay.
and flip.
Oh,
If you don't pull, turn, and flip, you'll lose it.
Yeah.
They only come white, and you'd have to have it painted to match. So it gets to be kind of
now
expensive.
for taking a shower,
Mhm.
instant hot water or let it
Almost
go?
instant, yeah. It's,
Okay.
when you kick it in, it does a nice job of keeping it warm as it comes through.
Okay, and it's the regular water soap and
Yep.
just get out as quick.
Yeah, well, you have, if you're at a campground, and you're hooked up to the water, you have an endless supply of fresh water, but your gray water tank has a capacity. So you may have to empty your gray more often than you do your black with those types of
Quick
ships.
story, in the motorhome that we bought a big, and this is the very first ones that came out where you had a big old fanny pack and the camera was over your
Sure.
shoulder, a video thing when,
Yeah.
when we had our motorhome and we figured and it was a last second thing, bought it right as we were leaving town.
Okay.
And we didn't know where we were gonna put it, so we put it in the.
Line the bathtub with a
Line-
blanket.
Yeah, we put it in the bathtub, so we figured, okay, everything's pulled into the campground, guess what? Filled that tub up with water.
With your brand new
With
camera.
that brand new
Oh,
camera.
no.
She took the camera apart with a hairdryer.
An experience, I'm sure.
We took pictures of the whole trip. We were gone for almost 5 months.
Wow.
Wow.
We could make a movie that would be better than Chevy Chase's.
Okay. Right here, you have a 31-day permit in your window. That gives you 31 days to travel and to get to your DMV to get your license plates and transfer the paperwork and everything. So that's right there. It is kind of a shallow window that you may not see it easily if they ask you for it.
Okay.
You know where it's at. Fuel door is right here. You have to open the door. You have to flip it open and then shut it and open it to put in your fuel. That, if there's any splatter of diesel, it won't get into your compartment.
Yeah.
And the other thing is you lock it and walk away, nobody can add stuff or take it away from you.
Okay.
I've never even pumped any diesel, but I guess it's the same as pumping gas. Is that right?
The only thing is, that some of them, if you go to a truck stop, they'll have a great big nozzle that shoots really fast. And then
Oh,
be
okay.
careful that you don't open
Yeah,
that
but
up.
that's so you can't put regular gas in there.
Well,
Yeah,
it's
or
also
I
for
mean
the-
diesel and regular gas.
It's also for the semi guys who've got a
Oh,
150
okay.
gallon tank.
I got you.
Yeah, new one, quicker
Okay.
service. This door is identical to the other one, except there is no medical kit in here.
Okay.
You have the storage there. This is the fuses for the Mercedes-Benz part. If you open this up, you'll find
Oh, boy.
Mercedes fuses in there. Okay? Very easy to get at though.
Is there also spare fuses in the kit we're getting, or any spare fuses?
There is not. So,
Okay, so you can buy just say a 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 little kit of fuses and
and you're good
keep
to
them in
go.
the glove box.
You bet, because that'll be used here, and I'll show you some stuff inside too.
So when we were talking earlier, if we did something that would blow a fuse, I can come back and replace the fuse right here?
This would be the fuse for the Mercedes.
Oh,
There's a
okay.
different one for the interior.
Oh, a separate one in there, okay. Okay.
This seat functions exactly the same as the
Yeah.
other one. But if you look underneath, above your gas pedal there, or your
Uh-huh,
fuel
I
pedal,
see it.
there's a little red tab.
Yeah.
And there's some lettering that tells you how to operate it. If you want to disconnect the start batteries, you operate that red tab. The reason for that is your start battery, your chassis battery is underneath the driver's floor. And it is accessible with a certain wrench and everything to get at it. But that is your start battery down there.
Okay.
So if you have to disconnect it, you can.
Why would I want to disconnect it?
Oh, if you wanted to add a device and you needed to turn off the juice in order to add the wiper or something. But if you wanted to, you could. If you wanted to put it in storage and have the battery fully charged and disconnected, you can do that. But remember, any memory that you have in your radio will disappear and you have to put all that back. As long as we got this open on the steering wheel, if I take and pull this lever down, I could now telescope it and I can tilt it, get it to where it's comfortable, and snug it up and secure.
Okay.
The cruise control is a little bit unusual. This is off, this is set, this is resume, and this is coast. Off, set, resume, coast. Does everything that ours do, just a little bit different pattern.
Okay.
And this, of course, is high beam, low beam, flash to pass, right and left turns, and wipers all on one now.
Okay. But now, high beam or that's high beam?
No, high beam is forward.
Oh, high beam, okay, so the regular light, the first one is parking, and then this is your regular light? That's always got me confused when I,
Your on and off control, this is off, this is headlights over here.
oh,
Now I can go high beam, low beam, flash to pass, and the master control is here. Yep.
It's,
Okay. So, once you turn headlights on, then you can go high beam or low beam. Even if they're off, you can do flash to pass. It
Okay.
ignores the signal when the key's not, when the ignition is not turned on, and that's why we're not seeing them flash on the door.
Okay. But what's that first and second? When you turn?
Windshield wiper speed.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
All right. So they're okay.
Yep.
All right.
And then if you want to squirt, that's also push in the end.
Push it in. Okay.
This is where if you push it in without the headlights turned
Yeah.
on, it'll just squirt on the
Just the
windshield.
outside.
If you do it this, you're going to do the headlights
Yeah.
and the windshield.
Okay.
Right down here is the access to the propellers. Okay?
Okay.
So I'll give it one tug there. Then we'll go to the front. And the lift mechanism is just left of the center. All you have to do is lift like this. And this is what I was doing right here. It'll lock in place over here, and then you let it sit.
Okay.
Once we get under the hood, this is where your windshield washer fluid would go. And right here we have a see-through brake fluid container. Right down here with the black cover is your power steering fluid.
Okay.
And this right here is the filter for the engine. Now, because your start battery is underneath the floor, if you had left your headlights on or something and you needed a jump start, you don't have to take the floorboards up. You can take and turn and push and put your positive cable on here and your
Okay.
negative cable on a ground. There happens to be a brass bolt for that
okay.
right here. And then you can do battery to battery.
Oh,
Mercedes
okay.
does not want you to do a boost start where they put excessive power to it.
Okay.
It could shut off your computers.
Okay.
So just do
I
battery to
got you.
battery. Yep.
Okay.
Then as you continue this way,
Well, that's nice.
you have a filter for your heating and air conditioning system in here. So if it's a high pollen day and stuff, it'll certainly help you out with that. And right here you have an antifreeze container, and here you have DEF. If you pour this fluid in here, the
I don't know
repair-
what DEF is. What is that?
Okay, DEF is it's a new fluid that they're using not only in Mercedes but in just about every diesel, Ford, Chevrolet, and everybody. With the way that they design the diesels today now, they're so efficient they actually soot up the exhaust system. So they'll take some fluid, the computer will draw it from here, and it will burn it, which will keep that clean, so that you still get all the economy but not the sooted up exhaust. It's a urea fluid. If you by mistake pour that in here, it's a $5,000 repair, because that will eat up all the brass in the water pumps and things like this, and it gets very costly. With the DEF fluid, it's full. It's a 2.5 gallon container, and if you were to drive and make a trip and top it off, and make a trip and top it off, you may never see a light come on your dash. If you forgot about it and you drained it, the light would say you only have 15 starts. If you turn it off and quick start it again, it'll be 14. If you drive 200 miles and shut it off, you're down to 13. When you hit 0, it will not start. It's designed so that topping it off won't clear it. You have to put at least 2 gallons in there, and then that should clear it. And then you're good to go again. Now, some people take a small container with them if they know that they're going on a long trip, and then they'll just top it off occasionally. But the fluid's available at all truck stops.
That's what I was gonna ask you. Where do I buy that stuff? But
Yeah.
any truck stop.
Hard
has it.
stores, truck stops, things
Okay.
like that. This is where you put oil in, and right next to it there's a red dipstick to check your oil.
Okay.
But the transmission is a sealed transmission, and they check that when you go in for service. Right now, they're still at 15,000 mile intervals for an oil change. And we met with the factory that built this last fall, and they had Mercedes up there. And one of the Mercedes people said that it looks like they're going to go to 20,000 mile oil changes, but it's still announced at 15. Okay?
15,000 between oil changes.
That's right. Synthetic oil only, and I believe it's all Mobil
So
1
it's
that's in here.
15,000 for an oil change?
No, 15,000 miles between oil changes. In other words, where
Oh.
would they tell us ours needs to be 3 and 5,000?
Pricey. Huh?
Yeah, well, cancel the deal.
Okay, so now to shut this, all we have to do is lift slightly, release this, and then if you don't, some people will pull on it, you will bend the hood. So you have to lift, push, once it gets past that notch, bring it down to about 6 inches or so, and let it go.
Okay.
Good.
Seems to-
Good.
Right,
does
so
more
I'll,
deliveries than I do. I don't do as many.
And then there's an
anymore.
RV charger, I mean a 12-volt charger down there.
There's a 12-volt charger down
Yeah.
here. There's also a
Oh, that's
charger
great.
here with the lighter. And this is removable for a cup holder, a pop
Yeah.
can holder. Some people use it for coins, and this will be adjustable.
Okay.
And there is a cup holder here and there.
Oh, okay.
Plus, there's also 2 in the door. So you have 1, 2,
Okay.
3, and 1, 2, 3 for each person.
This one would work good for one of those giant drinks.
Yeah, a water bottle or something. Yeah.
The big gulp.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, and that'll close, that just,
Yes.
that, okay.
Yep, it goes
Gotcha.
by itself.
Okay,
Let me push the shifting. There we go. And then you do have a 12-volt with the lighter and a 12-volt down below, and a kind of a grippy surface to hold a cell phone while you travel. Okay,
Very cool.
the parking brake. To apply, you just lift up.
Oh,
However, if you just click it and drop it, you may not have released it over time, because as you do this, it gets a little bit easier. So always, whenever you're going to release it, push the button, lift up, and let it down. We had one person, and we found out later that there were other people that did not do this, and they actually drove with the parking brake on,
Oh, no,
and had to
okay.
do some parts replacement and things like that. So,
another quick story.
yep, there you go.
Her mom with that Cadillac that
Yeah.
had the
This one right here, that's in and out. That out, and then the other way. There you go. Oh. So now it says travel lock in this area here. And this is designed so.
You wait until it comes all the way and goes up, huh?
Yep,
A little
and
bit.
then it's secure, then it's flush on the outside. And you'll notice this in here, it'll either expand or contract by turning this. So, what a person has to do is they have to set this inside here, all the way back. And then, now I can
forward.
turn the shaft to
Oh,
snug
you
it up.
turn your shot?
If you, I'll let you, I haven't turned it yet, so if you want to turn it, one direction it'll expand, one direction it'll contract. You have to be close to the,
Well, I basically, let me see how I get it out of there.
okay, yeah, you have to lift it slightly above that, pull it forward, then tip it down. Yep, there you are. And that will ensure that movement does not take place.
So it goes this way or this way?
It goes, the angle should be like that.
It goes this way.
That's correct.
Okay.
Okay, good. Alrighty.